firstly, it's lovely to see everyone with us today. And for those of you who haven't met yet, I'm Renee and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Bamboom Cloud. For anyone who's new here, our aim here at Bamboom Cloud is to help organizations take the best of the Microsoft Cloud to help them to transform and grow. Today's session and the rest of the sessions on this webinar is based around Dynamics 365 Business Central. Part of my role is to help you to be educated and understand what you already have access to within Business Central, along with how you can add extra components to it to benefit your organization. This is through third-party extensions, which we often refer to as ISV solutions. Today won't be a deep dive tech session. We'll aim to keep this in a language which enables you to understand what these products can do for you and your organization. The session will showcase and educate you on and to help you understand how Jet Reports and Jet Analytics can accelerate your reporting capabilities and efficiently work alongside Business Central. I'm delighted to have Harpreet here with me today from our partner InsightWorks, and Robb Jackson, who was going to present to us today, is unfortunately not due to having COVID. So I'll pass you over to Harpreet to introduce herself and InsightWorks.
Hello everyone, I'm Harpreet Robb and I'm the Senior Channel Manager for insightsoftware, working with our UK and Ireland partners such as Bamboom Cloud, and where we focus our products are around the Jet products. Like Renee mentioned, Robb Jackson is our Senior Technical Manager. He provides our technical support to our partners and customers in the UK and Ireland region. Robb wasn't able to be present today due to being unwell, so what we have done is a previous recording of what he would have presented in today's session that he was happy for us to share. So over to you, Renee.
Yeah, thank you for that, Harpreet. I will now play the video, which Robb has done for us. So Robb's details are just on here as well. And Jet is based kind of around the Excel reporting side of things and uses BC data. So I will play the recording. It's around 15 minutes, just so that everyone is aware.
In this video, we will introduce Jet Reports, which is an Excel-based reporting tool specifically designed to work with Microsoft Dynamics ERPs. My name is Robb Jackson, and I'm a technical account manager providing support for our partners in the UK and Ireland. Before I show you the product, let's first take a look to explain what is Jet Reports. Jet Reports is a reporting solution built directly into Microsoft Excel. It is designed specifically for Microsoft Dynamics ERPs, such as NAV and Business Central, and it is the most popular add-on solution with over 15,000 users globally. Instead of copying and pasting or manually exporting data to Excel, we use functions to pull data into Excel, which eliminates errors, and this allows you to lay out and format your reports exactly to your requirements. When you upgrade to the next version of Dynamics, there is no need to rewrite your reports. You can simply connect your existing reports to the new data source. This eliminates any requirement to rewrite reports during an ERP upgrade, which can be an expensive and time-consuming part of the project. The process of designing reports is by using drag-and-drop tools and helpful wizards to create formulas. There are no specialist programming skills required, and Jet allows business users to design reports with ease. To get customers quickly started with Jet Reports, we make available a library of around 80 reports which can be downloaded from our website. This covers typical reporting areas, for example, monthly income statements, the wide range of financial reports, inventory turnover, customer sales, and salesperson performance, for example. You can use these reports as they come, or we have some support topics which explain how you can modify these reports to your requirements. Jet Reports has the following types of user. Designers are users who are able to design the actual report definitions using the design tools. Viewers are able to run and refresh reports with report filters of their choice. And finally, Excel users are able to open the Excel documents which were created with Jet Reports. This overview explains how Jet Reports works. We use the function wizard to build a formula that is structured in the same way as a standard Excel function. We query the ERP database when the report is executed, And then the results are
Sorry, don't know how that stopped.
finally returned into Excel. So what I would like to show you now is an example actually working inside the product, and we can just take a look at one of the wizards that helps us to create a report automatically. So inside Excel, you can see the Jet ribbon, which is our add-in, and there are some tools here. Everything that I'm seeing here is the view of a designer. So I'm going to start with using the Fast Financial Reports wizard. We are able to select the columns that we require. So this allows me to show the account number, the name, the amount of our actuals, and I'm going to include the budget, what the variance is between my actuals and my budget, and also as a variance as a percentage. So I'll make all of the selections here. I'm going to choose to include the column headings in my report, and then I can choose a range of accounts. I'm going to scroll down to the section that starts with 60,000, which is the operating expense section of my general ledger account. And I can easily click the whole range of the accounts, which end with 69,950. Now, with the whole range selected, I can click and drag the contents to the Excel workbook. And in the background, Jet will automatically create a report for me. I'll just show you a couple of the areas of the report that have been created. Here, for example, in cell H16, you can see we've got a GL formula which queries the NAV for Business Central System to retrieve a balance of a general ledger account between a start date and an end date. This is an example of the function wizard that you could use to build this formula manually. The formulas work in a very similar way to Microsoft Excel. For example, if I press F2, I can see the cell dependencies. So this formula is getting a balance of the general ledger account number that sits in F16 and between the start and end dates that appear in H10 and H11. We include keywords. So for example, when we're retrieving numerical information from the database, we don't know how big that number is going to be. And of course, Excel, if the cell is too small, it will display information with hash values such as this. But things like the fit keyword at the top resizes the columns automatically for us to make sure that we've got a well-presented report after it's been executed. So I'm going to go ahead and run this report. I always, if designed into the report, get a report option screen that allows me to add filters as a user. So a viewer would typically see this to enter any specific dates, for example. So I'm going to include a start date in my filters, and I am just going to specify that I want to see the results for one whole calendar year. And then I'm going to go ahead and run the report. So when we run the report, fresh data is retrieved directly from the ERP, and there's a couple of changes. For example, you can see that column H has now been resized again, such that everything is displayed correctly, and any of the Jet-specific formulas have been replaced by a numerical value. So this allows me to send this Excel spreadsheet outside of the organization, and somebody without Jet could open this with no problems. One really important feature is the ability to get into the transactions that make up this number. So we have a drill down feature, and there's a number of different behaviors. We can ask the drill down to open up a data grid inside Excel, but most users use the drill down functionality to launch the ERP such that you can see all of the individual transactions. So you can see here that the client has opened, and I've filtered this general ledger entries list by the same account number and the same filter range that I included inside my report. So that's really valuable to users because you can quite easily investigate numbers because you've got tight integration back to the ERP. So in the report, we use a combination of Jet formulas and also standard Excel formulas. So for example, my variance is just really a sum, which takes the actuals less the budget to show me a variance in numbers, and then a similar formula for the variance in percentage. When it comes to security for the users of Jet Reports, we actually respect the security permissions for each user as they're already set up in the ERP. So there's no requirement when using Jet to manage another separate security model. When it comes to multi-company reporting, we can either simply switch from one company to another and execute the same report based on the results of another company, or it is possible with Jet Reports that runs a single report that pulls data from multiple companies in a single report execution. And this is something that is not possible with the standard ERP reports, which only allow you to report on the company that you are logged into. Jet has also got a powerful scheduler, and it allows you to automatically run reports and distribute them in a number of different formats, such as PDF, CSV, or HTML. I'm going to now show you a different style of report that has been made, and this is a sales matrix report. This report takes a slightly different approach. We are using replicators in Jet. The formula that is in this particular cell here, again, it's built with a wizard, so it's nice and easy to build. Create a row in the report for each customer that I want to include. And this formula here in K8 is going to create columns for me in the opposite direction. So it's working, creating a two-way matrix for me. And the report is going to show the sales for my customer for the current period that I select. It's going to automatically calculate the period for the year before, and then it's going to show me a variance with some Excel conditional formatting. So let's go ahead and basically run this report. Again, I can specify a range of dates that I want to include. I can again change this, for example, to a whole year, and I can choose the number of customers that I want to include in the report output. So let's say, for example, I want to see the top 20 customers. So when I go ahead and run the report, you can see here that Jet works very nicely with standard features of Excel, such as the conditional formatting to show any icon sets, for example. And you can see that the report has expanded in two directions, with my rows function creating a row for each customer in this direction, and my columns replicator, which has created a set of columns in this direction for every month in the range that I've included. An important part of reporting is the ability to get to all of your data. This includes custom tables, custom fields, which may have been added to your database as extensions. When running Business Central Public Cloud, we no longer have direct access to the database, and it is more challenging to get to your data, particularly in the case where customizations have been added to the system. Typically, it requires technical skills to write queries that are published as web services in order to get to your data. When using Jet Reports with Business Central, you can simply install a free extension from Microsoft App Source. You can then make a connection from Jet Reports, and immediately you have access to all of your tables and all of your fields in the database, and this updates dynamically as new customizations are added later. A popular tool inside Jet is the Table Builder. I'll just show you a quick example of this now with an example that I've built just before. The Table Builder allows us to construct a data table which pulls information from different source tables in our ERP system. So for example, you can see here at the top, I've used my value entry table. I've linked this to my salesperson table, the customer table with lookups to the country region code, and also from my item table, looking up information about the product group and the item category. I can add some report options, and across the top here, you can see the layout of all of the fields that I will get returned into Jet. Once this is completed, the Jet report is built based on the definition of the information in the table builder, and now it allows me to execute the report on fresh data from my ERP. So if I just add into here a date range, and not forgetting, it's possible to put any data set together with the table builder, linking multiple tables that includes any table, any field, including your extensions and your customizations. And in the end, what we end up with here is an Excel table, and I can either summarize this information in Excel using standard Excel tools such as pivot tables or slicers, but because the table itself is actually given an Excel name, this really lends itself well to actually use this as a data source for Power BI. So if I open Power BI, this is a sales dashboard that is actually been put together with exactly the same data set that I just showed you there in Excel. And now it gives me a much more interactive opportunity to filter by dates, to select specific item categories, and also to select specific salespeople. And it gives me a very interactive experience. Hopefully this video has given you the opportunity to understand more about Jet Reports. Please visit our website or contact your Dynamics partner for more information. Thank you.
So thank you everyone for watching. If you do have any questions in regards to Jet, please just pop them in the chat. I'm just going to pop a message in there now so that pop-up appears. Just have a look.
Sounds like Rob may have answered all the questions.
I know.
Okay, great. So let me just read this question out. Is there any difference in functionality for older versions of NAV, for example, 2009? So no, there's no significant differences in how you build a report. In fact, you can use reports designed for earlier versions of NAV against a Business Central data source. This is one of the advantages in that customers in most cases can take their reports with them and they can upgrade their ERP. And what that does, that eliminates a lot of the work which may have been required to rebuild those reports. So we can handle the differences between the versions of NAV and BC in our adapter, and the Jet functions in that report itself, there's no difference in there. So what that does, it allows you to the report to be portable.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. I'm just looking in the chat. I don't think we've got any. Oh, as I say, that we've got another one come through.
Yeah, sure. Just so I read it out to everyone, can you schedule for the reports to be sent to anyone, or do they need to be set up in Jet? So ideally, a report has to be designed in Jet initially, and then it is possible to make that scheduled task to run the report automatically. And a scheduled task can be one individual report or a folder of reports. And this result can be saved to specified folder locations and or sent out by email also. Is the currency pulled from NAV or formatted in Excel? So when pulling a numerical value, like an invoice value or a sales amount value, the number is just pulled through to Excel as a decimal value. So this is the same format as stored in the ERP. So it's just a case of adding standard Excel formatting to currency accounting to introduce a currency symbol. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let me do it. Can Jet connect to other systems to build reports which include data from Business Central and other linked operational systems? I would have to get back to you on that. This is something probably more Rob would be able to answer. So if it's possible, Renee, to send that email the question across, then we'll get that answered for Andrew.
Yeah, 100%. I think we've just got one more question in the chat if we want to run through that and then wrap up, if that's okay. Yeah, okay. If I open a report as a viewer, will it already be updated or when I click run? So viewers will still need to run reports in order for it to be updated live against the data source. So when a report is opened, you will initially see the results as it was previously run. But again, if you need a little bit more detail on that, I can get back to you on that. Perfect. Well, I want to just say, first and foremost, thank you for everyone for attending today. It's obviously great to have you with us, and thank you, Harpreet, for being a guest with us today. I just want to remind everyone that the session is recorded. And if you've enjoyed what you've seen today and want to get in touch, please feel free, if you're an existing client, to get in touch with your account manager here at Bamboom Cloud. And if you're not an existing client already, we have got some details on the screen that you can use to get in touch with us. We will also be contacting everyone that has attended today as a follow-up. So any feedback that you've got on the session, anything else that you'd like to see us kind of host in these webinars, where obviously the feedback helps us massively, and we'd love to hear what your thoughts are on what we're hosting for you. So thank you again to everyone for attending, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.